There's this group of Christian nationalists who are trying to take over Jackson County in Tennessee. If you know what Christian nationalists are, they're just racist white Christian nationalists. You don't have to take my word for it. You can just look it up yourself. So what they want to do is they want to take over this small community, Jackson County in Tennessee, and rebuild it how they want. They want to bring back the real American culture, they say, of European descent. They're tired of all the diversity and multiculturalism that we have in this country. But that's what actually made this country great. All the different races and cultures that we have in this country. They're trying to go to this small community and rebuild it, they say. But this community is not having it.
Not in our town. That's the reaction from some Jackson County residents regarding efforts by out-of-state Christian nationalists to potentially remake their community. Good evening to you. I'm Carrie Sharp.
And I'm Rory Johnston. Our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams first broke this story last week about the efforts to, quote, build a town in the county seat of Gainesboro. And that shocked the people who already live there.
After giving residents time to digest this news, Phil went back to town about 90 minutes northeast of Nashville, this time to listen to the people of Jackson County.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
As word has spread across Jackson County, a gathering of friends quickly turned into an impromptu town hall.
Hey there. Hi.
Some just came with questions.
Do you want to sit there and I'm here for an or two?
Others with deep concerns.
We don't want one news story to portray something of Jackson County that we're not.
You see, as soon as this community heard that this group of Christian nationalists were going to come to their community and try and take it over and rebuild, they got together and made sure that this was not going to happen. They know that this doesn't represent them. This doesn't represent their community. And they're not going to let people from another state just come in and try and rebuild what they built themselves. They're not going to let these racist people come in and do whatever they want in their community. This is their community, and they're going to fight back.
Their concerns.
We're building a town, right? We're building a community there.
That man right there, his name is Andrew Isker. He's actually a pastor. You heard what he said? He said, we're building a town. We're building a community. No, you're not. That's not your town. That's not your community. That town and community is already built by the people who live there. You see, what they want to do is they want to build a real American cultural town. But that town is already full of American culture. Those are all Americans. But they're trying to go in there and take it over. They want to take over the Senate seat. They want to take over the government. They want to take over the whole city, the whole county. But they're not going to let that happen. You see, they think that they can start off small in these small towns, these small counties, and bring their racism there, and hopefully to build it little by little and spread it to all the big cities and to the whole country eventually.
The white Christian nationalists, led by podcasters Andrew Isker and C.J. Engel, now setting their sights on Jackson County and the county seat of Gainesboro, hoping to turn this quaint community of just over 12,000 people into a political haven for others like themselves.
Did anyone have any sense about these people prior to this story?
Among those we met, some had deep roots.
My family's been here for 7 generations.
Others were drawn here by the openness of the people they now call neighbors.
This town is such a loving group of people. I am accepted, even though I came from outside.
And we were there to listen.
What has this story done to this community's sense of well-being?
I think mainly people are scared.
Diane Murphy is vice chair of the local Republican Party.
And you heard that right there. That lady is the vice chair of the local Republican Party. So these aren't just all Democrats or Democrats who are getting upset about this. These are Republicans too, because these aren't racist Republicans. Not all Republicans are racist. But these people don't want just random people coming in their community and trying to rebuild it. This community has been built by them. They like how their community is. I'm sure they would want to keep building it how it is right now, but they don't want someone to come and rebuild it into something totally different that it's not today. That's why they're fighting back and they're getting together.
Yeah, I listened to the podcasts. I did the research on what you mentioned. It scares me that they are very clear about taking over.
Developers with right-wing ties have purchased hundreds of acres of land in the area, trying to recruit other like-minded people to join Isker and Engel in relocating to Gainsborough. In a video posted online by one of the developers, Isker talks about the ability of those people to get their way in a small community.
Right, you can exercise far more political power, even with a few hundred or a few thousand people, than you can on your own, widely dispersed across the entire country.
Apparently they bought hundreds of acres of land to try and bring people who have the same beliefs as them so they could take over this community. And you even heard him yourself, what he said. He said that even with hundreds or thousands of people, you can make a greater impact than just one person in a big city. So that's why they're trying to come to this small town. He even says it himself. He thinks that he can gather a bunch of people that with his same beliefs and expand it to try and make a big change in this country, to try and bring the racism back.
When you hear them talking about coming here to build a town, to build a community, what's your reaction?
I'd love to speak to that. That makes me mad.
Diana Manley owns a local restaurant, and she sees a community that's remaking itself without the help of strangers from out of state who don't understand what Jackson County already has.
People from all different walks of life, genealogies, nationalities, race, you name it. We have got a melting pot right here in this small town, all working together to make this town come back to life.
That's what I was saying before. All the different races and cultures is what made this country great. Even the residents of this community say that that's what's making their community great. All the different cultures, races, it's like a melting pot. That's why they don't want anybody else coming in there and trying to change their community to something that it's not.
What is it you're afraid of losing?
I don't want to lose what we already have. The sense of community.
It is a very welcoming community, but I think they kind of came in under the radar and want to recreate it in their own image.
Forgive the background noise. I'm actually here at a watch party with the Jackson County GOP.
On election night, the podcasters monitored the results from Gainsborough, with the real estate developer behind the project, Josh Abatoy, doing a live report from a local watch party that he had hosted. One of their podcast buddies also set up an account on X, formerly Twitter, that claimed to represent the views of the local Republican Party.
It said it was the official account of the Jackson County GOP.
But it was not.
Party Chair Bo Smith learned about the account from News Channel 5 Investigates. We also showed him where Engel had tweeted that the best way forward for Christian Nationalists is to take over local level outlets of the Republican Party.
You see, these Christian nationalists are lying and deceiving people by telling them that these social media accounts that they're making are the official accounts of the Jackson County GOP. But even the Jackson County GOP chair said that those aren't the official accounts. So why would they be lying to people unless they were doing something bad? And they even said themselves, the best way forward is to take over local level outlets of the Republican Party. Why do they only want to take over local level outlets? Because they know they only need hundreds or thousands of people to take over those. If they try to go to big cities, big states and do this, they're not going to succeed, because most Republicans aren't racist like this. They don't believe in the same things that they believe. So if they try to go to these big cities and do this, they're going to get shut down because they're not racist like them.
So that's not going to happen, especially now due to your reporting. We're thankful for that. And, knowing these people are in our community is a big deal.
Have these Christian nationalist podcasters, these developers, tried to have a meeting like this to sit down and answer your questions?
They're wolf in sheep's clothing.
But what really concerned these Jackson County residents, some who were reluctant for their faces to be on camera, are the podcasters' views that the civil rights movement was a mistake, that foreigners who've become U.S. citizens still don't belong in America.
What is it you would like for these people coming in from out of state to know? What message would you have for these people?
This town is not for them.
Bigotry's not one.
No, it's not going to work.
We are not that community, and we don't want to be a part of a racial hate community.
God made men to rule, period.
Then there are their views on women and how they detest the specific impact of college-educated white women on the culture of the world they see around them.
The white women on Facebook that you're referring to, they are probably the scariest thing that these guys are going to have to deal with now.
What I saw and heard on this day is that if the Christian nationalists think Gainsborough and Jackson County is a place where people all think like them, they don't know Jackson County.
These people's views do not represent our community. And if they think they're going to come in here and take over and force their views on everybody else, they're going to have a fight on their hands.
Phil Williams, News Channel 5 Investigates.
Did you hear that? These Christian nationalists think the civil rights movement was a mistake, and that foreigners who have become American citizens still don't belong here. That's why we can't let this happen in our country. And it makes me so proud that this community is fighting back and getting together and not going to let this happen over there. You see, this has been a movement that's been going on for a while now. These Christian nationalist movement. These are racist people who think that this country is only for white people. But this country is for everyone. We should all live together in peace. All the races, all the cultures. That's what really makes this country great.